Hi everyone, it's Gus from Pi My Life Up, and today I'll be going through the steps of setting up a speed test tracker using Docker. This speed test tracker allows you to monitor your internet performance easily. It is a great way to see if you are getting the speed your ISP claims to offer, while also being a helpful diagnostic tool. To set up the required software, we will be using the Speed Test Tracker Docker container. This tutorial will work on most hardware, including the Raspberry Pi. Just make sure you have a 64-bit operating system installed. The container we are using provides builds for both x64 and ARM64 architectures. To begin, open the terminal on your device or SSH to it. First, we must update the package list by entering sudo apt update. Now let's update any out-of-date software by entering sudo apt upgrade-y. We must first install Docker to our device. If you have already set it up, you can skip this section. In the terminal, enter curl --s, capital L, https://getdocker.com vertical bar sh. This command will use curl to grab the Docker install script and pass it directly to the terminal. Once it is installed, we will now need to add our user to the Docker group. We can do this by entering sudo usermod -a capital G Docker $, and then user in all uppercase. For our changes to come into effect, we must restart our device or log out. For this tutorial, we will simply reboot by entering sudo reboot. After installing Docker to your machine, we can now create a directory to store our speed test tracker and its configuration files. The directory structure we are using will ensure that it will work with software such as DocJet. To create the required directory, simply enter sudo mkdir -p /opt/stacks/speedtest. The -p ensures that all directories will be created. With the directory created, use the cd command to change to it, cd /opt/stacks/speedtest. Now let's download the required compose file from our Git by entering sudo wget https://git.pymylife.com/compose/speedtest-tracker/compose.yml. With that downloaded, we now need to make several edits to the environment variables. So let's open the file by entering sudo nano compose.yml. In here you can see all the required settings for setting up a Docker container. We first specify our speed test tracker. We set our port mapping for both HTTP and HTTPS. 8080 to 80 for HTTP and 8443 to 443 for HTTPS. Next, we need to set a range of environment variables. You don't need to change the PUID and GUID, as these are the user and group ID for the Docker container. We must replace the app key placeholder with the app key. This key is used to encrypt and decrypt the database. You can get the app key by going to your browser and navigating to https://speedtest-tracker.dev. On this page, scroll down to the section that has an app key value. Simply click on it to copy it, or alternatively, you can write it down. Now back in the compose file, remove the app key placeholder and simply paste the app key. Now replace time zone with the time zone of where your machine sits. This will ensure the speed test results will line up with your expected time. For example, mine is Australia/Hobart. Replace cron with a cron schedule of when you would like your speed test to run. I recommend using a cron tool to calculate the value you need to enter here. For example, if you want a test to run midnight every day, you can use the following: 0 space 0 space star space star space star. If you don't want to use the cron, you can simply remove this line. Replace servers with the ID of a server or servers that you want to perform the speed tests against. Testing against one or two places will give you more consistent results, rather than polling servers at random. You can get a list of nearby servers by going to your favorite web browser and entering https://c.speedtest.net/speedtest-servers-static.php. On this page, you will see a range of different entries. Select the ones you wish to use by copying the value in the ID fields. Once you have the values you want, go back to the terminal and enter the IDs you wish to use. For example, I will be entering 12392, 13279. If you aren't worried about the server used for your speed tests, you can simply delete this option. Lastly, replace keep results with how long you want your results to be kept for. The value is expressed in a number of days. For example, to keep results for 7 days, you'd simply enter 7. Alternatively, you can set this to 0 to keep results forever. However, be warned that your database will become very large over time. Once you're happy with all the details, you can save and quit by pressing Ctrl X, then Y, and then Enter. To start the speed test tracker, simply run docker space compose space up space -d. Now the server should be up and running. So now let's go get our device's IP address by entering hostname space -I. Our IP address is the first one in the list. In the web browser, navigate to your IP address :8080. In my case, it is 192.168.0.15:8080. You will need to log in when you go to access the software. The default email address is admin@example.com and the password is simply password. Once logged in, you want to adjust the default user to use your own username and password. To do this, click on the user icon in the top right corner and select the profile option in the drop-down box. After changing to the user's profile screen, you'll see a page listing your details. On this screen, you want to specify a new email address and password for your account. Once you're happy with your user's new details, simply click Save Changes. Now let's go back to the dashboard. Running a speed test from this tracker is a really easy process. All you need to do is click the Run Speed Test button in the top right corner. After clicking the button, a pop-up will appear. Select the server you wish to test your connection to. Once you have selected a server, click Start to start the internet speed test. After a few seconds, refresh the screen and it should have the dashboard populated with the results of your first speed test. To see all your results, you can open the sidebar by clicking the menu icon in the top left corner of the screen, select Results from the menu, and you can now see detailed results of your speed test. To update the speed test container, simply go back to the terminal. Ensure you are within the same directory as your compose file by entering cd /opt/stacks/speedtest. To pull the latest version of the speed test tracker container, enter docker compose pull. To move to the latest release, simply enter docker compose up -d. Your speed test container will now be updated. There are a few more settings that you can set within the speed test tracker dashboard. For example, you can set notifications, thresholds, multiple users, and more. Also, be sure to check out the official documentation for any other environment variables you might want to set up. Any environment variable will need to be set in your compose file. I hope you now have the Internet Speed Test Tracker set up and running on your device. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, have a good one.